Welcome to the Saturday night debrief with David King and Jack Rewald. It was a full-blown pies party at the MCG tonight. They've responded to their opening round loss in emphatic fashion, completely obliterating Port Adelaide by 91 points. That, gentlemen, is the Collingwood football we love to see.
Yeah, it was a drubbing, wasn't it? It's Collingwood at their absolute best, and what a great way to, wipe off last week's performance against GWS Giants, and certainly for a side that looked extremely slow last week, King, they looked very, very fast and slick tonight.
Yeah, without the footy is what I rate. When we're watching games like this, how hard are you to play against? And last week, Collingwood were exposed everywhere. Leg speed through the middle. When they lost the ball, 1 metre become 5, become 10, it become easy for the Giants to score. They put them to the sword so quickly. Tonight was the complete reverse. And it screams of a team that sat down during the week and said, this is not us. This is unacceptable. We've got a week to correct and go again. And they must have thrived during the week at that challenge. To put Port Adelaide into a tailspin like they have is something that all clubs absolutely love to do. They've sent them crashing to the ground. Where are we at? Who are we? And then right now, you look at how they played. This is role mastery. Everyone played their part tonight. There wasn't a poor performer.
There are two stories tonight, isn't it? And we'll touch on Port Adelaide later on, but we've got to celebrate the winners tonight. And I think the big stat was the tackle count, because it was mentioned time and time again throughout the week. 39 tackles for the entire game last week. They had 38 by half-time, finished with 68.
Yeah, I think tackling just shows I want to get over and get numbers in the screen. When coaches look at and review games about numbers in the screen, and tonight Collingwood had more numbers in the screen at nearly every occasion that we saw them on there. That plus 30 tackles from last week, plus inside 50, 17 tonight as well. It was a pure domination. Dan Houston came back into this side and obviously playing against his old side had a massive impact. And it was good to hear from him after the game that he was nervous about the week and wanted to obviously get it over and done with. But I thought it was an impressive performance all around.
Yeah, I think attitude is the number one thing they'll take from this. I mean, they actually lost clearances. Port Adelaide won the clearances, only +3, but it's still a victory for them in there. So you've got to then go and win the ball back. So the opposition is starting with the ball more than you. They conceded 1 goal 3 from stoppages. Now, that's ridiculous. That is an unbelievable effort without the footy. So it's all those things you're talking about. It's players playing their role. Dan Houston wins the ball back 10 times, highest on the field. Josh Daicos is involved. 9 times he wins the ball back for his team. So that's your half-back flankers getting involved. Everything works when Collingwood are counter-punching from half-back. They're brilliant at speed, and they played a team tonight that didn't really want to engage. So I think you can be too glowing sometimes and too down other times, like we probably were last week. But they corrected the speed problem in the middle of the ground through attitude.
The other one's system as well. I think Craig McRae has brought a system that I think started at Richmond. He was obviously an assistant coach there, and he's brought this system along. And when it works, it really works. But all it takes is sort of 4 or 5 cogs in the system to break down, and it really affects the way they play. And that happened last week. But when it hums, it absolutely hums, and it was humming tonight.
What about Nick Daicos as well? He was one of the big stories throughout the week. He copped so much of the media attention. And as Jason Dunstall said, it wasn't his best game, it wasn't the most dominant performance, but it was a good performance. And coming off the back of last week, I mean, we don't know what it's like, well, perhaps maybe you two do, but to cop that much of attention on his performance, it was a great response from him tonight. Yeah,
26 disposals, obviously. You can see him. Looks like we're going to chat to Nick very soon. But I think the important fact of Nick Daicos' game tonight is had 9 inside 50s. And he's arguably one of the best ball users in the game. And if he's having 9 inside 50s, you know that they're going to be going to good looks for Collingwood.
I think Craig McRae was about to give him a massage then. I've seen 15 people massage Nick Daicos tonight. But no, what a night it's been.
And he's been good enough to join us right now. Nick Daicos, congratulations on the win and the performance by you this evening. Who are the little kids you were just signing jumpers for?
Oh, I think it's one of Fly's friends. Firstly, thank you for having me, but he just got me to meet one of his family friends named Billy. So he had a big smile on his face, and I think he was happy with the win, which was awesome.
And you've got a big smile on your face too. How relieving is that victory and performance tonight?
Oh, awesome. We're a system-based team, and we like to say that we're also very process-driven. So while last week was super disappointing, we just got back to work this week on the training track, but just sort of seeing how we played. I think we played a fun brand of footy, brought the crowd into it, and we've got such a dynamic forward line, so it's hard to stop them when the ball's coming in quick, and we were able to get them in the game, and they're just so exciting to watch. Some of our small forwards, when you see them up and about, it gives us all so much energy.
Nick, I want to take you back to last week just really quickly. Obviously, cramped in the third quarter, and it was, I think, the most famous cramp we could ever hear about. But what did you make of the commentary around yourself last week, and how did you deal with it?
Yeah, I've tried to be off socials this week. I just wanted to get back to work, have a really good week on the training track. It was very abnormal for me to be cramping, especially so early, but I just wanted to prepare as well as I could. I tried to block out all the noise. However, I do pride myself on my professionalism, so I thought it was quite disappointing to be cramping, and I thought a lot of the comments, to be honest, were fair enough. So it was on me to come out and really drive the pressure and run tonight, and I thought I was able to do that.
Can you put it to bed, Nick? Are you fit or not? Have you prepared yourself like the true professional? Are you fit?
I'd like to think so. I'd like to think I'm fit. At times you're tonguing it out there. The game's going so quick, but I don't think I'm alone in that aspect, and I'll continue to grow as the season goes on, but I was just really proud of the team performance tonight.
No one can really relate what it's like to be you, the superstar player at the biggest club in Melbourne. You said you had to switch off the socials. Was that a conscious effort this week to try just focus on your own training and preparation lead up to this game?
No, I don't view myself as that. I just view myself genuinely as one of the other players, and we were all quite disappointed with our outing on Sunday. I think our fans probably deserved a little bit better too for the first game of the season, so we made a conscious effort as a team to really train hard this week, which we did. We had a great week on the track, set ourselves up so well, and then I thought the inclusion of Dan Houston, Ned Long, Lockie Sullivan, blokes like that just played a role for us, and they brought so much pressure. Like going out there with Ned Long, he was unbelievable.
Craig McRae is known for his inspirational pre-game messages. 91 points is a huge victory. Can you take us into the rooms pre-game? What was on the whiteboard, and what would Craig be very happy about tonight?
Yeah, we just wanted to get back to our processes. We wanted to take the ball forward, bring our pressure, make sure the corridor was filled. We know Port Adelaide like to go quick through the corridor, so that was an emphasis for us, but really bring our small forwards into the game, the likes of Bobby Hill, Bo McCreary. You know, you saw Jamie Elliott flying at so many marks. They're so important to us, and I think we starve them sometimes of the supply they need. So tonight it was good to get some speed on the ball. The likes of Dan Houston kicking to him, I think they enjoyed it.
Speaking of the pre-game chats, it was a fired-up Darcy Moore giving his pre-game address out on the field. There were great pictures. Can you remember what he said? There was an intensity about the skipper tonight.
Yeah, no, for sure. Darcy always revs us up every week. There's a few expletives in there, so I won't repeat exactly what he said, but no, he's great in that aspect. But I think the boys knew how important really tonight was to set up our season. We knew we were in front of the home crowd. We wanted to give them a good outing, and as I said, we did, and now we move on. We'll have a great win. We'll celebrate it with our family, and we'll move on to Friday night against the Doggies.
This is the first hit out you've had with Dan Houston. He finishes with 27 touches and 10 intercepts. He was awesome. He was exactly what you want him to be. When you see him out there working in tandem with your brother across half-back, what goes through your mind? What do you see?
Dan's an absolute star, and I think we brought him across to the club knowing what he can produce. We don't expect that every week from Dan. We've said that to him. I thought he built his game really nicely tonight off the back of some great defensive efforts, and that's all we ask. And then when he gets the ball in hand, it's game over, really. I think the way he's able to bring our small forwards and our fat side and our corridor into the game, and it's just really a joy to watch. As soon as he starts kicking, it's very nice to be on the end of.
Another addition to the football club, Tim Membrey. He's been a part of your sort of three-pronged key forward attack with Brodie Mychek and Dan McStay. 10 goals out of them tonight. It must be a better look going forward.
Yeah, absolutely. Tim, he's his own worst enemy sometimes because he works so hard that by the time the ball sort of comes in his area, he's spent all his tickets. It was nice for him to get on the end of it tonight. He had the exact same game last week. He just didn't get on the end of it. We couldn't supply him last week, but his work ethic's like nothing I've seen as a key forward. The way he's able to get up the ground and provide us a bailout every single time is unbelievable. The goals are a bonus, but gee, he's another really accurate kick. He didn't look like missing tonight.
See, they're good winners, the Pies. Have a look at the rooms full of people. Where were they last week?
Exactly.
Where were they?
Nah, they were there. They were there.
And there are some very cute kids behind you. I don't know whether they're dancing or lurking for an autograph. So we'll let you go and enjoy with the rest of the family and friends in the change rooms. Nick Daicos, appreciate your time. Congratulations on the win tonight.
Thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it.
Oh, what a joy he is. And we can confirm He's fit.
He's fit.
He's fit.
We had a feeling that he was pretty fit. I mean, it was a strange occurrence last week, really.
Oh, I think we expected the performance from him tonight because the champions, when they get challenged, they rise to the top. And there's, like, I think he said he switched off social media, but I have no doubt it would have come back to him at some point. What was?
But then how humble he was in saying most of the commentary was fair.
Yeah, which is right because
it's sort of confusing because he said, I didn't listen to it, but most of it was fair.
Well, it's hard to completely switch off in this digital age, isn't it? As you said, it always comes back to you somewhere.
Very good.
Let's turn our attention to the Ashley Martin turning point, which, of course, you wanted to give Tim Membrey a bit more love tonight.
Yeah, it was pretty early on the turning point and a 91-point drubbing, but Tim Membrey was fantastic tonight. And I think he, to be honest, if he'd had another poor one tonight after last week, we might have been questioning his the three-pronged attack for Collingwood. But he really stood up early when the game was there to be won. And Daicos just mentioned then how good of a set shot he is, and he proved this in the first quarter. It's his work rate going forward. He is a high-intensity player, and if you can get the ball in his hands inside 50, very rarely is he going to miss.
Well, these sorts of acquisitions, they're the reason why success is all club. It's all facets of your football program. Your recruiting, your scouting, everything has to come in line to get this player to fill a role for your team. If they don't do that, you're almost blown the opportunity with one man through the door, if you like. So it's very hard to attract players to your club. You get 2 max per year. You need them to perform. At 30 years of age, they keep saying they're not going back to the draft. Their time's now. Membrey needs to be this more often than not.
Yeah, he's a direct reflection, isn't he?
100% he is, because if the 3 tools don't work forward of centre, then it's a new strategy. They haven't got time for a new strategy. They're in it to win it this year.
So Collingwood fans are going to sleep easy tonight. Port Adelaide fans must be thinking tonight, what on earth was that? And it's going to raise serious questions about this coaching handover between Ken Hinkley and Josh Carr. Let's head into the newsroom now with Jay Clark. This is a disastrous start for Kenny's first year in charge. Jay, their worst loss under Ken.
Yeah, it certainly is, Kath. No doubt tonight the big story is Port Adelaide after that 91-point thrashing from Collingwood, and it will ignite a blowtorch on that succession plan. There is no doubt about that. So as we know, Ken Hinkley will hand over the keys to Josh Carr at the end of the season. That has all been mapped out and in the wings probably for at least 18 months, I would say. And they have maintained that everyone has clarity on the system and in particular the leadership structure. Ken is in charge. Well, what we saw tonight at the MCG was a white flag. There is no doubt about that. And it will prompt a lot of questions of the players. Are you believers? Are you all in on this plan and this system under Ken and Josh Carr? We've seen succession plans work at some clubs, such as Melbourne and Sydney, for example. They've also been catastrophic failures, in particular at Collingwood and maybe lesser so Essendon. So it is going to be an intense week at Port Adelaide in the Adelaide media, no doubt about that, because they got Richmond on Saturday, the wooden spooner. Yes, they were very good against Carlton on Thursday night, but if Port Adelaide can't knock off the Tigers, you'd think over there on their own deck, then there could be mutiny in Port Adelaide. There's no doubt about that. We know the crowd can be very vocal. They've booed the coach before when they haven't been happy, and it will certainly be very intense. It's a massive story, no doubt about that. You do have to give them some credit in some sense. Missing Zach Butters, Brandon Zirk, Thatcher, Todd Marshall, Asava Radagalita. So you have to have some understanding. They are missing some key players, but as Mark Howard said tonight on the call, tonight was uncompetitive in parts, and this succession plan, as you see the pictures right here, will be in the headlines all week. It is a huge story.